There you go. This is the CICD UX meeting. Today is May 4th. No jokes. um, yeah, and today I added here the first discussion item to the agenda is to look into the UX OKRs for Q1. I actually asked you to leave any feedback that you might have for the last quarter that you'd like to share on things that went well, things that need improvement, and just any other comments that you might have, gratitude to the team, or any thoughts on the KR process. Um, I see the Vitica reply here async in the thread. I'm not sure if you had the time to go over that, or if you would like me to read it, or if you have any other thoughts.
Yeah, I brought it up, I think, during our previous one-on-one that for me, the KR to improve the daily lives of UX team members and having this more structured way to track my goals for one quarter and just all of the discussions around the importance of learning and the importance of taking time to like be strategic about what you're doing and to plan and to reflect. It has been incredibly helpful for me. So if I were to highlight one of the KRs, for me, that was the one that had the greatest impact. Just because it was great to kind of take this time to slow down and just think about your work. And it made my work more meaningful and rewarding, I would say, even though I felt less stressed than usual throughout the quarter, thanks to that as well. So all of the others were great too, like learning about accessibility. I've already taken a kind of a similar course, so I can say a lot of this content was new to me, but there were some really great examples that kind of helped me understand things on a deeper level. Yeah, so it was a great quarter. It was fun.
No problem. That's great to hear. Danielle, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, well, from my side, it's kind of hard because it was my first quarter, so I don't really have anything to compare before. But as someone recently joining the company, it was really good to see how much effort and structure is put into identifying sometimes these soft problems, like these, I feel like I'm not developing enough. I feel like my work week is not structured enough. And to have you as the manager and the company as a whole really looking into these issues and breaking them down into structures to solve them. So that was really good to see, especially with regards to accessibility, that usually is something that's left to much later, and to voluntary people working on it. So to see the company telling all designers to take the course and learn more about it and be structured about it, it was really good for sure.
That's awesome. For me, I think I'll just echo your comments. I feel like this quarter was very easy. Maybe Nadia, I'm not sure if you share the same feelings, but usually we have OKRs being created, not last minute, but they are shared or broadcasted with us by the beginning of the quarter. And I felt like also, since I'm still doing IC work, that I was able to track and follow with the KRs much easier than in the previous quarter. So I felt that was very, I think was a positive thing. And also having the chance to, for me, look into not just how we do career development, but also understanding what are your plans and how do they align, for example, with where the organization is going, during Q1, and having a way to better structure my conversations to understand and transition into the manager role. I feel like the timing was very good for the themes of this quarter. And also looking to, I added here the engagement survey next steps. So in a way, I inherited the results right from the engagement surveys, and we had to work together on these action items. I think this was also part of my onboarding, and I feel like if I didn't have that, especially in the very first few months, we would feel in a way preparing to have these conversations, and we could just get started with it as I onboarded the manager role. So for me in particular, that was very useful. So Julio, I want to quickly jump into talking about the engagement survey next steps, just to circle back and see if you have any comments there, or if there's anything that it's open that you might want to circle back, just follow up beginning of this quarter. So just to recap, this was part of the engagement survey, of course, that I think was, Daniel, you didn't participate, but it was from last October. And we chose to focus on growth and development, your manager, and action. And mostly the things that I asked from you were to discuss career development. I think we all did a great job creating growth plans and structuring that as part of the quarterly plan. And also reviewing the career development, growth and benefit, and also understanding the roles, senior, staff, manager. So I'm just going to pause here and leave it an open question to see if there's anything that you still like to touch base in terms of growth and development that was planned for us last quarter. Not talking about this issue here.
From my side, there's nothing I would like to touch. I'm not sure my personal development document, if I would consider it ready. I know it's always a work in progress. But for my part, we have talked about this, but having recently joined, I don't feel like I'm already in a position where I can very clearly point to a direction I want to grow. So I haven't checked the box there, but for me, it's just because everything is still in progress. But I also don't feel like I'm late with it. So that's my open question, I guess.
I think in terms of for this this tracking issue, say action items, it's really up to you if you want to consider it done. I think like what you said, it's a living document. So I know that Nadia creates it quarterly. I do mine for like 6 months, and I think it's really up to you how you consider that. I don't think it's indeed we have it, okay, done. You did career development. I think it's more like a beacon, let's put it like that, where I can look and say, okay, let's circle back and talk about this more frequently. And in terms of career development, I think especially you, Danielle, that you joined recently, is there anything that moving forward you would still like to clarify in terms of how we identify opportunities for growth as part of the regular team? Because there's the one-on-one part, but it's also I would like to bring this to a team level conversation. Is there anything in terms of career development, growth, development benefits, etc., that you would like to see us doing more or continue doing over the next quarter?
Well, I think the work they just started to do with interviewing other staff designers and design managers was really good to shed more light into what they do and how they got to where they are. I don't feel like I have full knowledge about how the promotion cycle works, that kind of thing, but also the handbook is really large, so I haven't read literally all of it. So for me, yeah, I would like to see more opportunities like this one you created to showcase the work of our staff designers and design managers, and gradually show more and more how to make this bridge, right? As designers who are here for a long time, how do we make the jump from an IC role to a staff role if we want to, or a design manager role, or something else, if that's the case.
Awesome. Oh, great. Nadia, any thoughts?
No, not really. I mean, so I attempted to participate in a conference in this quarter as part of the growth and development benefits. So that was something that, yeah, I checked off as done. But it was kind of a bit of a flop because I've only today gotten finally an email from the conference organizers that the recordings are now live. So I guess now I will have to just slowly listen to those recordings, and I want to still complete, like I want to attend all the talks and actually learn something and share the insights. But yeah, so I checked it off because I submitted a conference for approval, but I was not able to attend it yet. So that was a bit interesting, but otherwise it was great. Like I feel like I have a good understanding of the things I could be doing and the resources that I have access to. And at this point, I don't feel like I need anything specific. Right now, as you know, I'm really focusing a lot on establishing a good relationship with the engineering team on pipeline authoring and figuring out the best process for collaboration. So like that is taking a lot of my focus, and that is a big part of kind of my career development and my career goals. So in terms of learning, we also have a lot of new learning opportunities coming up as part of the second quarter OKRs. So I don't feel any need to add on more just yet.
That's a good hook for us to just circling around the Q2 KRs. Did I add here? I have a tracking issue. I think we discussed this briefly last week. So I'm just going to add here to the agenda at the end. This is let's see if it's the correct one. Tracking issue, yes, for the Q2 OKRs, the UX department OKRs. So we all have to read a book on UX copy, and then we have a training on collaboration. I think that's where you're going to touch specific on your point, Nadia, in collaboration with our strategic counterparts. And also the diversity, inclusion, and belonging training. So this is a more, I won't say generic, but more broad initiative with the organization as a whole. And in Q2, I know that we're not going to be asked to keep tracking, for example, growth and career development, but I will still touch base every month. So to just circle back and talk about, okay, what are your plans? What are we accomplishing? Maybe trying to adjust the conversation. But I just wanted to say here that, in terms of how you're tracking this, you're really free to do as you want. So Danielle, we talked about this a few weeks ago. You don't have to use that tracking issue or create a document. You can be really, as you would like to structure, you bring that conversation to our one-on-ones, but it's really about you owning your career development and then finding the resources that are there, putting things into movement, let's say, and I'll help facilitate that. And also Nadia, on your conference, I still haven't, that's a good reminder, I haven't circled back and I haven't talked to anyone about that to see if there's anything we can do. I don't know, just to, in terms of feedback that the organization can give to this event, or if there is any guideline for when the events flop.
Yeah, I emailed them and they just ignored my email. Basically, I emailed them asking when the recordings will be available, and then 1 week later, I just got an automatic email that, hey, they're available now. So, I mean, if I can access the recordings and if it's good enough quality, then maybe it's not a complete flop. It's just so far the experience hasn't been great. And I don't know if Vitika had a chance to make her notes, because I know that she's also been dealing with a lot. So I say let's just give it a bit more time, and then if we're not able to take away anything from that experience, then we should probably get in touch with them.
Yeah, and make time for that. I think it's also important, especially that you were not able to follow it during the time assigned or planned for the event. Make time for that later on. But also, I think it's helpful that we had, that growth and development benefit being highlighted last quarter. But I don't think we have to just use it right away. So we're gonna have more events coming up. maybe, I don't know, look into something bigger that is not just a conference or training or something. It's really up to you. And then we make a plan for it. Yeah, later on. It's really up to you how you want to use it. And Danielle, you also attended, right, a conference recently, the CSS.
Yeah, it was the previous Friday and last Friday. I wasn't able to catch all sessions though, so I'm gonna rewatch some of them to take more notes and then share with you all. But it was from what I could watch, it was really good, and it was exactly what I was looking for. All the new CSS features and Houdini and CSS variables, the nerdy stuff. Really liked it.
Nice.
That's awesome.
And this one was pretty well organized. They had this really nice chat setup right next to the presenters, and they had captions, so it was really well thought out.
Yeah, so just make sure that you bring that knowledge back. I think would be, especially in now that we're talking about, we have a KR this quarter for the foundations team. I'm not sure if you saw that one. It's not in our tracking issue, but it's related to the UX department OKR, that they are looking to improving the component lifecycle process. So that pretty much means how we contribute to pajamas, how we write CSS, how we review, etc., to make it easier for designers. So I know that you're into that. It will be interesting to see, is it something, you know, that you can help collaborate and bring that knowledge back. But
Yeah.
just make sure that you structure that in blog posts, document, whatever, just bring that knowledge back to us. I think that's important. That's awesome. Any thoughts, concerns, feedback for the UX OKRs for Q2? Questions?
From what I could see, everything is clear. My question is mainly, I think 4 and 5 are specific for testing and continuous integration. I was just curious, like how do you come to certain KRs? There are for specific groups, and why?
Yeah, so this is decided by people high above. So for example, with jobs to be done last quarter, we did for also testing. I think was code quality. And if you look at, let's see, the Q1 UX OKRs, you see which other stage groups did the jobs to be done. Ensure that we are focused on jobs to be done. There you go. So what happened is that we are just going over the stage groups that, for example, that don't have jobs to be done yet, or that they don't have jobs to be done, they're well structured, and then every quarter assigning that to specific teams. So you see that last quarter was really about, what is that, cloud native, issue tracking was really the merge request, the create team. They did lots of jobs to be done. And this quarter is a lot about the configure part. So the Kubernetes and other teams. So it might be that next quarter release will have to clean up the jobs to be done or work on validating. And which was the other one, the number 5 you mentioned?
Yeah, there was and competitor evaluation, yeah, for continuous integration.
Yeah, so Mike Long worked together with the research folks to create a framework or document a framework for a competitor evaluation. And how we are choosing this is that we're going to continue looking into the stage groups, similar, the stage groups are the product areas that, need most attention. So we have create, which is global search, editor, CI, because CI is super important, right? It's one of the most used parts of our product. So I really see as the critical parts of the product that if you look at how the engineering OKRs and the CO OKRs are set, it's really that vision for the quarter and the things that are aligned with the high level priorities for the organization. So when these KRs are created, I would say how it happens on my side that I just see that, okay, they chose these things. And
all right, because these are per department, right? Every department is looking into competitor evaluation jobs to be done for some of the stages.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Not sure if you haven't seen the OKR page in the handbook. I'm gonna link here. So there you go. Then you can see the high level engineering KRs, I think you have to click like the key 1 or key 2, and you can see the high level themes. So for example, for Q2, we are still looking on usability improvements, and then the CEO KRs cascade to the engineering KRs, a cascade to the UX department KRs, and then each stage group or each designer is assigned to it. So you can look into it. It's a bit longer read, but pretty much everything is about the long-term vision for the product, for the company.
Yep.
Awesome.
Thanks.
And I think luckily not everyone has to do this quarter. Usually we have all to do like jobs to be done or use lots of, not put a lot of time, but we have all put maybe same type of effort this quarter. Only testing and CI are going to be doing the jobs to be done and the competitor evaluation. And I also, yeah, going back to this list, the number 3, that talks about focusing on improving still the SUS score for merge requests. I think we all, only package doesn't have issues, but we are being asked to do the same thing as we did last quarter, make sure that the issues that are assigned to our stage groups are valid, have clear proposals, and are ready to be implemented. There's a list of 29 open issues. There are usually UI polish, so very small improvements to the merge request widget that we have to close before the end of the quarter, which is in end of July. So we have 3 months to close these issues, prioritize, and burn out that list. Also, not a lot to do to improve. And some of these things are really small, so maybe it's a good exercise for you if you, I don't know, would like to clean up the CSS or make some small UI adjustments, you can. Just make sure that your stage group closes those issues before the end of July. Any question there?
No, pretty clear for me.
Awesome. I think that's it from my side. If you have any questions, yeah, just leave a comment in our tracking issue, and we can discuss it there. Also, paste this the notes here in the issue so that Ian and Vitika have access to it. So, anything else? I know we still have like 2 minutes left.
Yeah, for me it's good.
Yeah, same.
So then I'll see you later. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. That's really helpful to me.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Cheers.
Bye.